Okay, are you ready, Alo?
Yes.
Time is yours. One, two, three.
Lesson 76, April Fool's Day. To end our special news bulletin, said the voice of the television announcer, we are taking you to the macaroni fields of Calabria. Macaroni has been grown in this area for over 600 years. Two of the leading growers, Yusuf Moldova and Ricardo Beben, tell me that they have been expecting a splendid crop this year and harvesting has begun earlier than usual. Here you can see two workers who, between them, have just finished cutting 3 lots of golden brown macaroni stalks. The whole village has been working day and night gathering and threshing this year's crop before the September rains. On the right, you can see Mrs. Bebent herself. She has been helping her husband for 30 years now. Mrs. Bebent is talking to the manager of the local factory where the crop is processed. This last scene shows you what will happen at the end of the harvest. The famous Calabrian macaroni eating competition. Sainer Fratelli, the recent champion, has won it every year since 1961. And that ends our special bulletin for today, Thursday, April 1st. We are now returning you to the studio. Lesson 77, A Successful Operation. The mummy of an Egyptian woman who died in 800 BC has just had an operation. The mummy is that of Shepenhut, who has once a singer in the Temple of Thebes, as there were strange marks on X-ray plates taken off the mummy. Doctors have been trying to find out whether the woman died of a rare disease. The only way to do this was to operate. The operation, which lasts for over 4 hours, proved to be very difficult because of the hard fishing which covered the skin. The doctors removed a section of the mummy and sent it to a laboratory. They also found something which the X-ray plate did not show, a small wax figure of the god Duamut. This good, which has the head of a cow, is normally placed inside a mummy. The doctors have not yet decided how the
Listening.
woman died. They feared that the mummy would fall to pieces when they cut it open, but fortunately this has not happened. The mummy successfully survived the operation. Lesson 78, the last one. After reading an article entitled Cigarette Smoking and Your Health, I lit a little cigarette to calm my nerves. I smoked with concentration and pleasure as I was sure that this would be my last cigarette. For a whole week I did not smoke at all, and during this time my wife suffered terribly. I had all the usual symptoms of someone giving up smoking, a bad temper and an enormous appetite. My friends kept on offering me cigarettes and sugars. They made no effort to hide their amusement whenever I produced a packet of sweets from my pocket. After 7 days of this, I went to a party. Everybody around me was smoking and I felt extremely uncomfortable when my old friend Brian urged me to accept a cigarette. Satisfaction. My wife was delighted that things had returned to normal once more. Anyway, as Brian pointed out, it is the easiest thing in the world to give up smoking. He himself has done it lots of times. Lesson 79, By Air. I used to travel by air a great deal when I was a boy. My parents used to live in South America and I used to fly there from Europe in the holidays. An air hostess would take charge of me and I never had an unpleasant experience. I am used to traveling by air and only on one occasion have ever felt frightened. After taking off, we were flying low over the city and slowly gaining height. When the plane suddenly turned round and flew back to the airport, while we were waiting to land, an air hostess told us to keep calm and to get off the plane quickly as soon as it had touched down. Everybody, everybody on board was worried and we were curious to find out what had happened. Later we learned that there was a very important person on board. The police had been told that a bomb had been planted on the plane. After we had landed, the plane was searched thoroughly. Fortunately, nothing was found and 5 hours later we were able to take off again.
Ya,
The most
the crystal apa itu? Plate ya.
mhm,
The crystal palace.
the Crystal Palace, perhaps the most extraordinary building of the 19th century was the Crystal Palace, which was built in high part for the Great Exhibition of 1851. The Crystal Palace was different from all other buildings in the world, for it was made of iron and glass. It was one of the biggest buildings of all time and a lot of people from many countries came to see it. A great many goods were sent to the exhibition from various parts of the world. There were also a great deal of machinery on display. The most wonderful piece of machinery on show was Nasmith's steam hammer. Tough in those days, traveling was not as easy as it is today. Steamboats carried thousands of visitors across the channel from Europe. On arriving in England, they were taken to the Crystal Palace by train. There were 6 million visitors
Visitors.
in all, and the profits from the exhibition were used to build museums and colleges. Later, the Crystal Palace was moved to South London. It remained one of the most famous buildings in the world until it was burned down in 1936.
Okay, good. That's enough. We can continue it later ya.